Kia ora, no mai hara mai, and welcome to Te Kaya. I'm Ernie Nicholas. Tonight's topic will be based around the issue, the high-fat diet. A major issue that has so many people puzzled and confused. What is a high-fat diet? Is it good? Is it bad? What are the facts and figures? All yet to come, but first.
Obesity, heart disease, stroke, cancer, diabetes. They are all killers in the world we live in today. Damn. Wetner et al. 2007 has stated that such diseases are on the rise, taking lives like a thief in the night. The most horrific fact is that the age that loved ones are being claimed by such diseases is getting younger and younger as time passes by. However, what is causing this? Is it the high-fat diet? Good question.
I know, horrific news. We are lucky enough to have nutrition guru Dr. Muhammad Abdul with us tonight. Thank you for coming on, Doctor. So tell me, what is the high-fat diet?
Thank you, Ernie. Thank you very much. There are many high-fat diets in the present world that we live in. A very valuable research of this modern day conducted by McDonald in 1998 suggested that the ketogenic diet and the Atkins diet are the perfect representations of a high-fat diet. So basically, these two diets a very high proportion of fat and protein intake in both and sufficiently low proportions of carbohydrate intake. Okay? Maybe a small modification in protein, an increase or a decrease depending on the individual. Basically, the diet focuses on the body to burn fats rather than the carbohydrate.
Yes. Very interesting. Thank you for it, Doctor. This high-fat diet is causing so much confusion in the world we live in today. We've seen our correspondent and reporter, Roha Dalton, reading to see how the public perceive this issue. Enjoy.
Hi whānau, it's your main man Roha Dalton Reedy here. Now, today we're in sunny old Tauranga, but it's not sunny anymore, so I don't know what the world has come to. Anyway, back on task. Today we're going to see the public's point of view for the high-fat diet, okay? So let's go and see who we can see. I heard this is where the sport and rec students hang out. Let's go and see how they perceive the high-fat diet. Come along. Hi, I'm Raz. How are you?
I'm good.
So the high-fat diet, is it good or is it bad? And tell me why.
I think it's good. I love my fatty food. Pulls me up. And I'm still skinny, so yeah, I think it's good.
Cool, thank you. Now, hi young lady, I'm
Hi.
Raz.
What's up?
So the high-fat diet, is it good or is it bad? And why?
Depends. I think it's all about balance. So, it's alright sometimes, but not all the time.
The high-fat diet, good or bad?
Bad.
The high-fat diet, good or bad? The high-fat diet, sir, good or bad? Good, thank you. So the high-fat diet, good or bad? And why?
Bad. Moderation is everything. Variety is the key.
So there you have it, finally. Fresh word through the eyes of the public. For and against, which explains the confusion around this point. Thank you, Final. Back to you, Ernie.
Wow. Now we take a look at how specialists view the high-fat diet. We have Dr. Sam Robbins on the line. Are you there, Doctor?
Yes.
Welcome. So tell us about today's topic, the high-fat diet.
Okay.
Hi, it's Dr. Sam Robbins. Today's topic is about pretty much anybody who follows a low carbohydrate and a high fat diet, you really need to stop doing it, because after a 26-year study, they have concluded that it kills you. Now, if you're not familiar with what a low carbohydrate or a high fat diet is, pretty much if you've heard of the Atkins diet or a ketogenic diet, this is where people have almost no carbohydrate or very, very little carbohydrate, something like 50 grams or less. And then it's a high protein, high fat diet. And this is used primarily to lose weight, but for over a decade, I've been telling people never to do this because it's just incredibly unhealthy, and now Harvard has proven this, but I'll get to that in a second. Basically, the people who have these high-fat diets, the reason they work as far as weight loss, it's a temporary weight loss, but the reason they work is because the lack of carbohydrates makes you retain less water. So immediately you drop water weight, and also your blood sugar does normalize, so you're not craving foods as much, but it's a very acidic diet. It's a very unhealthy diet. And here's the proof. There's a 26-year study done by Harvard University, and they basically discovered that out of, and this was 120,000 females and 51,000 males. So, close to 200,000 people. What they discovered is that people who follow these really low carbohydrate and high fat diets, they increase the risk of heart disease by 14%, cancer by 28%, and premature death, basically just getting older, faster, aging, accelerated aging, and dying by 23%. So you're going to lose a quarter of your life following this type of diet. And as far as weight loss, it's never long-term, it's a short-term thing. So my suggestion is, if you're doing this, please, I'm begging you, stop. Now, if you can, just reduce it. I'm not asking you to eliminate it, but following a low carbohydrate diet, such as the Atkins or a ketogenic diet, which is full of high fat, is not healthy, and it'll take off a quarter of your life. So don't do it. And there you have it. Thanks for listening. Stay happy and healthy, and have a fantastic day.
That was Dr. Sam Robbins, all the way from the USA. So what are your thoughts on that, Dr. Abdul?
Yes, Ernie. So, a few things that Dr. Robbins did not announce, did not say in that. Mainly the positives and the negatives, that for and against. From a health point of view, there are positives and negatives of the high-fat diet. The positives of the ketogenic diet is weight loss due to the calorie intake deficiency, insulin resistance, and aiding in health problems. One of the main health problems that ketogenic diet aids in is epilepsy. A recent research study shows that the number of seizures by near half of the epileptic children who took part in the study dropped due to the exposure to the ketogenic diet. That is very high. Then there's the negatives. The negatives of taking part in the high-fat diet are having the risk of obesity, cardiovascular disease, heart disease, dehydration, kidney complication, constipation, menstrual irregularities in adult women. This becomes broad. Pancreas inflammation, monotomy, even decrease bone density and vitamin deficiency. So they're broad range again. Which brings me to the next part. From a sports point of view, such a diet would be useful during sports that have a high consideration for body composition, such as gymnastics, horse riding, boxing, even weightlifting, bulking. A study showed that although the performance of the gymnasts did not increase, or did they decrease? No change. No change, so there was no discussion around that point. However, decreased body fat was evident due to the Atkins diet. Go figure.
Well, I'd like to thank you for coming on the show today, and I wish you the best for the future. Well, that concludes our show for this evening. Make sure you guys tune in for tomorrow's show, and I'll leave you with this. Pumari.
In summary, the application of the ketogenic diet and the Atkins diet should be widely considered before put to use. Such diets do not cater for a large amount of people. However, if recommended by health professionals and if suitable for the needs and goals of an individual or individuals, such diets will not, will not do more harm than good. To maximize these diets, all guidelines must be met. Otherwise, severe health risks are on the cards. Lastly, please note that in order to make strong, decisive assumptions about the high-fat diet, extra clinical studies are required, as there are a lot of unknown underlying and underpinning factors at the moment. Therefore, what may be true today may not be true tomorrow.